Now you got the Diddy situation where he jumps on a private jet, they say yesterday, and is on his way to the Cape Verde Islands.
And in this lawsuit, he claims that essentially P. Diddy was the Epstein of the rap industry.
Let's dive into this unfolding drama surrounding Sean Diddy Combs. It's almost surreal, considering that just a few years ago, Diddy was at the top of his game, hosting those exclusive white parties everyone wanted an invite to. But now, the headlines are telling a very different story. Diddy's name has been splashed across headlines due to serious allegations that make his past glitzy lifestyle seem like it was hiding something far darker. And just when people thought they knew him, rumors of illegal activities connected to these extravagant gatherings are adding layers of intrigue and suspicion.
That clearly there is a criminal investigation underway and that they believe that there would be evidence of crimes in one or both of these homes.
Diddy's famous white parties in the late 90s and early 2000s were the stuff of legend. Back then, these parties weren't just events. They were massive, star-studded spectacles that gave the public a glimpse into a world only accessible to the rich and famous. Picture it. The sprawling mansion grounds, decked out with everything white, from the decor to the guests' attire. Celebrities from all over Hollywood flocked to these affairs, eager to rub shoulders with the A-listers and enjoy a night of pure extravagance. People like Mariah Carey, Naomi Campbell, and even top actors and athletes attended these lavish affairs. It was a who's who of Hollywood, and the hype was always off the charts. But were these parties really as glamorous and innocent as they seemed? Or was there something far more sinister lurking beneath the surface?
Replete with very, very serious and salacious allegations, including allegations that Combs had cameras.
Some of the most iconic memories of Diddy's white parties revolve around the glitz and glam. The atmosphere was always electric, with every guest dressed in their finest, adhering to the strict all-white dress code that Diddy enforced. It was all about projecting this image of exclusivity and class. If you were lucky enough to attend, you were automatically part of an elite club. And Diddy himself was always the perfect host, making sure every detail was just right and that his guests were having the time of their lives. But as recent reports surface, it's becoming clearer that these parties might not have been all about the glitz and glamour after all. In fact, they're now being painted as something much darker.
As you all know, I made a request today for what we were calling a gag order, and I'm not going to walk out of court and do anything other than live up to that.
The first hint of controversy around Diddy's parties came when whispers of unusual activities began circulating in the media. People started looking back at these gatherings and questioning what really went on behind the closed doors of those lavish venues. Sure, on the outside, they were all smiles and champagne toasts, but were things really that carefree once the public eye was no longer watching? The rumors have been flying fast and furious, with former partygoers and insiders suggesting that Diddy's infamous gatherings were more than just star-studded events. According to some sources, the real attraction of these parties was far from innocent, with claims of troubling behavior and questionable company taking center stage.
Well, if he really was filming everybody, I mean, he had a lot of people at those parties, right?
Now, take the relationship between Diddy and Jennifer Lopez, one of the most talked about romances of the late 90s. They were the ultimate power couple back then, and for a while, it seemed like they were inseparable. Together, they graced red carpets and looked every bit the Hollywood royalty. But just as the recent allegations have put Diddy under a harsh spotlight, they've also reignited interest in his past relationships, particularly the one with J.Lo. As these accusations surface, people are re-evaluating everything they thought they knew about this celebrity duo.
We all saw it posted yesterday all over our social media pages. Cassie filed a lawsuit in New York City against Diddy.
Yikes.
She's claiming she was stuck in a decade-long cycle of abuse.
Back in the day, Jennifer Lopez and Diddy were the talk of the town. From 1999 to 2001, their relationship was the stuff of tabloid dreams. They were young, glamorous, and in the public eye constantly. But it wasn't just the romance that people remember, it was the drama. Diddy's reputation for partying was well known, and it wasn't long before this started taking a toll on his relationship with Lopez. They were once arrested together in New York City after a night out went awry, which was all over the news at the time. Lopez later opened up about the experience, calling it a total nightmare and saying that it was the first time she realized things were spiraling out of control.
Wow. So, ladies, J.Lo being open about gushing over Ben, do you think she's making a mistake this time, going so public? Or is she just in love?
Now, with Diddy facing these recent accusations, people are looking back at his relationship with Lopez through a new lens. They're starting to wonder if there was more to the story than just two young stars caught up in a whirlwind romance. There's renewed interest in the idea that Lopez might have seen a different side of Diddy, a side that was far removed from the charming, suave image he projected to I
would never, ever pry.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so never would I pry. Right. What was it like the first night getting back together? I mean, I can't imagine I mean, it must be like, oh my God, we're back together after 18 years. That's like, right?
Let's not forget that Diddy's white parties were not just about the dress code. These were parties where Hollywood's elite mingled and made connections, all while dressed to the nines in their best white attire. The exclusivity of these events meant that the guest list was always top secret, fueling speculation about who was there and what exactly went down behind closed doors. People have always been curious about these parties, but now, with the allegations hanging over Diddy's head, there's a sense of urgency to uncover what really happened at these gatherings. Were they simply a place for celebrities to let loose, or was there something more going on? A big part of the allure surrounding Diddy's white parties was the atmosphere of mystery and exclusivity. No one knew exactly what to expect, and that's part of what made them so enticing. But with all the current buzz, people are starting to dig deeper into Diddy's past, hoping to unearth the secrets that he's been hiding. And the more they dig, the more it seems like these parties might not have been as innocent as they appeared. There's a growing narrative that Diddy's events were shrouded in secrecy, not just for the sake of exclusivity, but because there were things going on that he didn't want the world to know about.
There has been some updates in the Diddy $100 million default judgment that we reported on.
One of the most shocking elements of these new revelations is the suggestion that Diddy's parties weren't just about having a good time. According to some sources, they were a playground for the rich and famous, where anything could happen. There are rumors that some attendees engaged in behavior that would raise eyebrows even in Hollywood, and that Diddy was at the center of it all. With every new piece of information that comes out, the image of these parties as glamorous get-togethers is being replaced by something far more ominous. What once seemed like the ultimate Hollywood bash is now starting to look like a facade for something much darker.
That he controlled every aspect of her life. He is accused of frequently beating her and would hide her in hotel rooms for days until the bruising and signs of abuse were gone.
As people continue to speculate about what really went down at these gatherings, it's clear that Diddy's reputation is taking a serious hit. He was once known as the King of Cool, a music mogul who could do no wrong. But with all the allegations swirling around, that image is crumbling fast. The details emerging from these reports are painting a picture of a man who may have used his status to hide a much more troubling side of his personality. And with the public hungry for answers, it seems like this is just the beginning of a long, drawn-out scandal.
And I remember, I don't know if you know what his voice sounds like, but I felt like I was in the presence of his monster inside.
The public's fascination with Diddy's white parties is understandable. After all, who wouldn't be intrigued by a glamorous event filled with celebrities? But now, with all these rumors and allegations coming to light, people are questioning what they once admired. Diddy's allure was built on the idea that he was untouchable, a man who could throw the biggest parties and always come out on top. But as more details emerge, it's becoming clear that there might be a price to pay for that kind of lifestyle. The veil has been lifted, and the world is starting to see Diddy in a very different light.
And Stacey, you say today's indictment reads like a mob indictment. What was most shocking to you of all these allegations?
Yeah, the fact, Jake, that the government in this indictment presented evidence alleging that Sean Combs was running a criminal enterprise.
As we leave this section and prepare to delve further into the allegations, one thing is certain. The days of Diddy's white parties being seen as harmless fun are long gone. These gatherings are now part of a much larger narrative that's unfolding, one that could have serious consequences for everyone involved. From his relationship with Lopez to his connections with other Hollywood elites, Diddy's past is being scrutinized like never before. The public is no longer content with the surface-level glamour. They want to know the truth about what really went on at those parties, and they're not going to stop until they get it.
I took the ring out and I asked her to marry. I took the traditional approach. Yes. Did you go through her parents? I did speak to her parents.
The drama surrounding Sean Diddy Combs doesn't stop at his infamous parties or past relationships. It dives even deeper. Let's jump into the latest rumors and accusations that have taken the story to the next level. With the allegations stacking up, it's hard to ignore the whispers tying Diddy to other high-profile figures, particularly those who've been caught up in controversies of their own. One name that keeps popping up, Ellen DeGeneres. Yes, it seems like even Hollywood's friendliest face might be linked to Diddy's complicated web of connections. As these rumors continue to spread, it's clear that Diddy's world is intersecting with some unexpected players. But what's the real story here?
Hello, Sean Diddy Combs. How are you?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, thank you. Do you like being scared?
It's no secret that Ellen and Diddy have known each other for years, often spotted at the same events, exchanging playful banter on camera and sharing laughs on Ellen's show. But as new details emerge, people are starting to wonder if their friendship goes deeper than just the usual celebrity camaraderie. Could it be that Ellen's silence on Diddy's latest scandal is more than just a friend choosing not to comment? After all, Hollywood friendships can sometimes mean more than meets the eye. Ellen, who built her image on kindness and relatability, is now under scrutiny for what some believe might be a connection to a much larger issue.
Ellen's alleged bad behavior had been whispered about in the industry for years.
The internet sleuths are all over this one, dissecting every public interaction between the two, looking for clues that might hint at something more. Was Ellen a regular at Diddy's lavish gatherings? Did she know what was happening behind those closed doors? As Diddy faces more and more accusations, Ellen's friendship with him suddenly seems a lot less casual. People are pulling up old footage of their interactions, noting how comfortable they seem around each other, as if they share secrets that we might never know. The speculation is almost impossible to escape, with fans wondering if Ellen's silence is a way to avoid getting dragged into the scandal.
Now, so what is next? Is he going to be in jail in this facility until the trial begins? Is there a chance he could, get moved earlier than that?
As of this moment, as of this hour, as of today, yes. But of course, as I mentioned earlier, they're going to be appealing this thing next to the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals to overturn the judge's order here to try and get him actually released to his mansion.
And it's not just Ellen who's been linked to Diddy through these gatherings. There's talk of other celebrities who were regulars at his events and who may have witnessed things they'd rather keep private. The whispers about Hollywood's elite attending Diddy's parties aren't new, but with the latest allegations, they're being re-examined with a fresh lens. Some even say that Diddy's gatherings were more than just wild parties, that they were, in fact, hubs for secret dealings and mysterious connections. The sheer list of high-profile attendees reads like a who's who of Hollywood royalty, and now it seems that these connections might be coming back to haunt them.
And a month before, and I don't know if you guys know this, but 20 years ago we were supposed to get married.
I'd read that.
And it kind of all fell apart back then. And this time it was like we still had I absolutely did had a little PTSD, and so I was just like, is this happening? Is this really happening? And
the latest bombshell dropped with the alleged guest list from one of Diddy's white parties, a list that includes some unexpected names. This list, though unverified, has only fueled the speculation, giving rise to endless theories about the kind of activities that might have taken place at these gatherings. Imagine a room filled with actors, musicians, and talk show hosts, all mingling in an atmosphere that, as some have described, was equal parts glamorous and unsettling. If the rumors are to be believed, these gatherings weren't just about rubbing shoulders with the elite. They were something much more secretive. People are now scouring the list, dissecting each name and wondering what secrets they might hold.
So I think they're just throwing stuff at the wall and hoping that it sticks, because they know that their client is guilty and they're just trying to do the best that they can with a guilty client.
Social media has had a field day with this, of course. Everyone wants to know who else could be implicated, and the theories keep piling up. The possibility that other A-listers might be tied to Diddy's alleged activities is just too juicy for the public to ignore. Users on platforms like Twitter and Reddit are playing detective, connecting dots that may or may not exist. They're bringing up old interviews, analyzing quotes, and even questioning other celebrities who've been mysteriously quiet amid Diddy's scandal. It's like a real-life mystery that everyone wants to solve, with each new piece of information fueling even more speculation.
Does he have a shot? I think his attorneys raised some good arguments.
I think they raised good arguments as well. Maybe this will be third time's the charm, because the difference between this bail motion and the prior two is that this one really does get to the heart of what the court was concerned about, which was witness intimidation.
One of the most talked about theories floating around is the comparison of Diddy to Jeffrey Epstein. While it might sound far-fetched, this isn't the first time Hollywood elites have been suspected of engaging in questionable activities behind the scenes. In fact, with the recent allegations against Diddy, many are wondering if his parties were akin to Epstein's gatherings, exclusive, secretive, and possibly hiding a lot more than anyone knew. Of course, these are just rumors, but the fact that so many people are drawing parallels between the two is telling. The public's appetite for scandal is insatiable, and this comparison has only thrown more fuel on the fire. Ellen's name, in particular, keeps coming up in these discussions. She's been a public figure for decades, known for her friendly demeanor and relatable humor, but now, as people question her possible ties to Diddy, that image is under attack. Could it be that Ellen's public persona is just a mask? It's hard not to wonder if her cheerful on-screen persona hides something darker. After all, Hollywood is no stranger to hidden secrets and shocking reveals. As the rumors swirl, the internet is rife with questions about Ellen's involvement and whether her friendship with Diddy was based on more than just shared laughs.
Most importantly and most notably, when he walked inside the courtroom, the first thing that he looked at was his family. As soon as he saw his family, he just lit up. Another thing to note, too, is he wasn't shackled, but he was wearing a khaki prison-like jumpsuit when he appeared inside court, and his family appeared on their end.
And it doesn't stop there. Other names have been mentioned as well: actors, musicians, and even politicians. It seems like everyone who's anyone in Hollywood might have had some connection to Diddy, and now those connections are being scrutinized like never before. People are talking about how Hollywood's elite often protect their own, shielding one another from public scrutiny and, perhaps, from justice. This kind of speculation isn't new, but with the sheer number of celebrities connected to Diddy, it's taken on a new level of intensity.
I'm not going to talk about anything that I haven't said in court or in the papers. These are all great questions, but I'm just not going to get into it. So
Can you speak about your concerns about the leak and the video? You have spoken about that before.
I did it in the court papers, and I'm just going to stick to the court papers. As you guys all know, let me just finish. As you all know, I made a request today for what we were calling a gag order, and I'm not going to walk out of court and do anything other than live up to that. So,
as more details emerge, there's also talk of potential legal consequences for those who might be implicated by association. While no other celebrities have been formally accused of anything, the mere suggestion that they could be involved is enough to make people wonder, could Ellen or any of the other names on that guest list face fallout from this scandal? The public is hungry for answers, and as the allegations against Diddy continue to unfold, there's a sense that more revelations are just around the corner. It's like the whole of Hollywood is holding its breath, waiting to see who else might get caught up in this storm.
But I think of you of starting a party at like midnight. Like, what time will it go till?
That's a different type of party.
But the intrigue doesn't stop with Diddy's famous friends. The nature of these allegations has led to rampant speculation about a broader network of connections, one that might stretch beyond Hollywood's borders. There are whispers that Diddy's influence reaches far and wide, possibly involving individuals in positions of power who have a vested interest in keeping certain details under wraps. While these are just rumors, they're enough to keep the public hooked, feeding a cycle of speculation that shows no signs of slowing down. It's a tangled web of relationships, and as people dig deeper, they're starting to wonder just how far it might go.
Yes.
Well, that's why. Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's that?
Ellen's silence on the matter has been particularly noticeable. As someone who's always quick to share her opinions on social issues, her refusal to address the Diddy scandal has left fans puzzled. Is she protecting an old friend? Or is there something more? The theories are endless, and with each day that passes without a comment from Ellen, the speculation only grows. It's almost as if her silence is an admission of something, though no one can say for sure what that might be. The whole situation is a reminder that in Hollywood, appearances can be deceiving, and even the most beloved celebrities might have secrets they'd rather keep hidden.
Great. So tell me about your birthday party. Am I invited?
Yes. Yes, you're definitely invited. I invite you to all my parties. You just haven't seemed to show up.
No, well, is it on the East Coast?
The public's fascination with this story is fueled by more than just the allegations. It's the tantalizing idea that these powerful people could be part of something much bigger than anyone realized. The thought that Hollywood's elite might be bound together by shared secrets and mutual protection is enough to keep the rumor mill spinning. And as more information comes to light, it seems like every day brings a new twist to this ongoing saga. With Diddy at the center of it all, the world is watching closely, waiting to see who else might get pulled into the fray.
There are some problems that the defense has brought up originally, but it seems like, just from reading this 14-page indictment, that there is enough physical evidence to perhaps get a conviction in this case. We shall see. These are allegations.
In the end, Diddy's scandal is about more than just one man. It's a glimpse into the darker side of fame and fortune, a reminder that even the brightest stars might be hiding shadows. And as the public digs deeper, it's clear that this is a story far from over. The connections, the secrets, and the possible fallout are all part of a narrative that's only just beginning to unfold. The world is left wondering what other surprises are in store and who else might be dragged into the spotlight as this story continues to unravel. So, what do you all think? Could there be more to these Hollywood friendships than meets the eye? Do you think Diddy's exclusive parties were just about glitz and glamour, or was there a darker side lurking beneath the surface? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear what you have to say about the possibility of other celebrities being involved in this unfolding scandal. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay curious.